Hello to all my wonderful friends out in Maryland's 8th Congressional District and beyond, all our friends from across Maryland and people who've started to tune in from across the country. It's Congressman Jamie Raskin from Maryland's 8th coming at you from Capitol Hill right now. My favorite time of the week, local hero, and we've got an amazing local hero for you this week. Reemberto Rodriguez, who's my friend, who is the Silver Spring Regional Coordinator for Montgomery County. He's kind of like the unofficial mayor of Silver Spring. Reemberto, for all of your outstanding, phenomenal work for the people of Montgomery County and Silver Spring, we are saluting you this week as our local hero for the first week of October 2020.
Oh, I'm beyond humbled and honored. We really appreciate it, and thank you, Congressman, for everything you're doing for Silver Spring and our broader community.
All right, I appreciate that, but this is all about you, Reemberto. You're not going to be able to turn away the attention this time. Look, you've been at the very front and center of our response to COVID-19 ever since this nightmare started, and I know you've been working really closely with the restaurants and the bars, the nightlife, you know, the dry cleaners, all of the retail, the hardware stores and everything. Tell us where that stands and what you are doing to try to keep that absolutely vital sector alive through the crisis.
Yes, our county is determined to open up in a safe way, and we've set up a series of work groups of industry leaders, public folks, and folks out in the community to make sure that we're doing this right. And one of those groups is the retail and restaurants. And I have the honor of heading that up countywide, and about 80% we've dealt with restaurants. And when this whole thing started, the whole idea of creating eateries, going outside, doing the outdoors, from all of that to now a very current news that the restaurants, as of today, with appropriate permits, will be able to serve alcohol till midnight. And this has been something that we have worked with the restaurant industries. We got to get this right, because you hear about England shutting down at 10, South Florida the same. So we want to do this right, and we're engaging our community, customers as well as owners, to do this right in the restaurant industry. And in retail, we're working with shopping center owners, smaller retailers, to make sure that we really do all we can to survive this winter by doing retail outside, online, and always keeping it local as much as possible.
Well, I mean, I love your emphasis from the beginning that public health and economic reopening have to go together. We've got to make sure we are being extremely careful with masking, with social distancing, and we are taking absolute precautions, but that we're doing whatever we can to make sure that the small businesses can survive. Tell me about your work also on the housing front, because this has also been very difficult, in terms of keeping people in their homes.
And it's difficult from the bottom up and from the top down. It's folks can't pay. If folks can't pay the rent, then the many small owners of those buildings can't make their mortgage. And if they can't make their mortgage, and so it's really, we as a county have worked at it from both ends. We have a program to help what we're telling and sharing with all renters, understand that at the moment there is no such thing as eviction. So hang in there, try to work something out with your landlord, and pretty much for the balance of this year, know that we're there with you, where there is some cash grants to help there, but we're also working with landlords as well, because this is from the bottom up and from the top down. So we're on here doing both.
And just to be clear about that point, there's no eviction for non-payment of rent, but you can be evicted for other things that you do.
Thank you for clarifying that. Absolutely, non-payment of rents, no eviction. And we are being very, we have an amazing nonprofit network. We're working with that nonprofit network of people that trust, that renters that trust the folks that are on the ground working. So we're working with them to get that message across.
You know, A lot of communities I've seen in other parts of the country have been divided by COVID-19. And, it's been very polarized, but Montgomery County is really pulled together in such an impressive way. And I wonder, to what do you attribute that, even though we're this amazingly diverse community from people who've come from all over the world?
I think I'll speak to Silver Spring. I think we have an amazing an amazing number of folks in Silver Spring across the economic spectrum, across the ethnic spectrum, folks that are really live here and enjoy and are integral part of that diversity. And so I think there is more of a leaning towards let's work this out together than in total division. And we have a highest, I'm convinced Silver Spring has the highest concentration of outside of college towns of folks in the my term here on the do-good industry than most anywhere else in the United States. So you're in a community meeting, and the folks that are from the Peace Corps that are working for NIH, that are doing, and so these are people that are that are good already, if you will. So how do we face a massive pandemic? We pull together.
Yeah. You've been working also with our wonderful groups that are focused on hunger. Hunger has been soaring, childhood hunger through the roof during this period. It's a moment of real food insecurity. Tell me how the county has been helping and what you've been doing in that process.
I think from day one of the pandemic, we saw that the unemployment was going to be looming and looming large. And we kind of know through charity how to handle the food insecurity with a 3, 4, 5% unemployment. But when you're looking at 13, 15, 20% unemployment, how do you do this? And so the county, and again, this is another situation of where it's top down and bottom up. We saw that there's this model of a food hub that was developed up county, and we said, well, let's see if we work this throughout the county. Now we have 8 food hubs throughout the county where we're bringing food to the people, not just the people to the food. And this would have been impossible without the vast network of not only the nonprofits, which I mentioned, but also our faith communities, which many of them have turned it. It's amazing to see a faith community put at the service of delivering food with their church bands, for example, and or these grab and goes that are being done throughout the county, where folks come, they pop their trunk open, people put the volunteers put the bag of food in the trunk, and so this has been an amazing network that has grown up with the Montgomery County Food Council and the many nonprofits and folks that are helping out. It's working, and even the Salvadorian Council right here in Silver Spring has done this. They thought they were going to be distributing 300 boxes of food a couple of weeks ago. They ended up distributing 1,200. So the need is massive.
Well, we're one of the wealthiest counties in one of the wealthiest states in, I think, what's still the wealthiest country on earth, even though we have so much poverty and inequality. But that has not caused us to turn our back on each other. On the contrary, we've really shared the wealth that we have in this community. And I want to salute you for being such an important part of that process of mobilizing civil society and the faith groups and the community groups and the school groups to come together to meet our needs and to make that not just like a matter of responsibility, but a matter of joy and a matter of excitement. And there's always a lot of excitement around you, Reemberto, and there's a lot of fun. And I hope that as our local hero, you will continue to exude fun wherever you go, all right? Tell us, if you would, about 2 things before we go. One is it's Hispanic Heritage Month, which makes it extra special that you're our local hero. We know that your family originally is from Cuba, and you've done some wonderful photographic essays and sharing with the community about the journey that you've been on. But tell us about the role of the Latino community in Silver Spring in
Well,
Montgomery County? And then I want to talk to you about the census before we go.
yeah, so first of all, our Latino community is disproportionately being impacted by COVID. I mentioned the Salvadorian consul a little while ago. They're also going to be doing free testing 3 times over the next 6 weeks there. And the Latino
Where's that?
and that is in the southern part of downtown Silver Spring.
Oh, well,
We'll let the world know about this as to the dates. And our Latino community here is the richness of and it's predominantly Central American, right? The predominantly Central American community brings so much richness in the true sense of the word to this community. And this being Hispanic Heritage Month, I'm so pleased to see our own American Film Institute here in Silver Spring do this wonderful Latin American Film Festival throughout the world from right here in Silver Spring. So tonight, a couple of nights ago, I watched actually the Cuban movie. And so tonight it's time to watch an Argentinian movie later tonight. So the Latino community here, and we have so many organizations that work and are part of the Latino community. And when the COVID hit, one of the first things we did, this is critical to understand how we understand the community and we work together. The one thing that the county did not have to communicate with our Latino community is a WhatsApp account. So immediately we created a WhatsApp account, which has turned, and this is the app that most Latinos use throughout Latin America, actually most immigrants use in the home country. And that has become a wonderful tool to stay in touch with our Latino community.
Oh, how wonderful. That's great. Say a word finally about the census, because there's not much time left, but you can still get it in, right?
Gotta do the census by the 5th of October is the last day. We've been doing, it was so much fun last weekend to do a caravan, because you want to provide opportunities for people to participate and volunteer regardless of their comfort level with what's going on. So we created this caravan, and we were going through apartment complexes and commercial areas in Langley Park, Long Branch.
Nice.
And so now this Saturday, we're going to be out there at the farmers market and in various other faith communities. We got to get this right. It's $18,000 over the course of a decade for everybody that answers the census. So in a family of 5, that's $100,000 for more schools, more libraries, more rec centers. Yeah. So we got to do the census.
You got to be counted. Everybody who lives here has got to be counted, right?
Yes, please.
And the information is not used for any other purpose, just for the census. So we got to make sure all of our people get counted. All right. Well, that's a wonderful farewell word from you, Reemberto, for all of your magnificent activism, your engagement, your thoughtful interaction with every conceivable part of our community. You are our local hero. Thank you for standing strong during COVID-19, Reemberto Rodriguez, and stay close and stay healthy, okay?
Thank you. God.